Good morning, SOTU.
It's still morning.
It is somewhere in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I have some questions because I'm working on the birth of the real self
Of
from
course you are.
Ezekiel from around the year 2000.
Of course you are.
And things have changed immensely since then.
25 years,
25,
quarter of a century.
quarter of a century. All right. They are relevant. And at that time, around turn of this century, Ezekiel was talking about particularly the love of the goddess of the divine feminine and how we have not.
Yeah, that was a dynamic that was very much appropriate for what was going on at that time. And you have to put yourself and your memory in a position of who you were around the change of the millennium and how you were around that whole 2001 to 2003 movement that was taking place in your world. And if you put that into context, then all of those things will be a representation of certain dynamics of basic knowledge, basic understanding, but it is, what shall we say, simplistic and primitive in its presentation because that's what you could understand at that time, because it was often very new and fresh information that you were trying to tie together in some sort of pattern recognition sort of way. And
Mhm.
even though there was pattern recognition, it was much an understanding to be had.
Mhm.
It was took years, literally years, for you all to, what shall we say, appreciate the many levels and the many frequencies of energy involved in the movement.
True. So now we're at a point where mm, some people, many of us, are starting to look at
Right now,
the.
you're at a point where you all need to begin to step back and look at things with a certain amount of objectivity and discernment. Otherwise, if you're looking too closely at the individual dynamics of chaos, it is likely you are going to get lost.
All right. Well, I'm thinking in terms of.
So we would ask you, what is the dynamic, the prominent reflections of your life, and especially now as you deal with those, realize that with the dynamics of change that are occurring right now, those things that are most prominent for you as individuals are going to, what shall we say, come up and demand to be dealt with.
Yes, as has been the case for a while now. So when we're speaking from 25 years ago, when a more simplistic form, it had to do with feminine
Well, you need to look at the
wisdom.
dynamics of what you have learned in the past 25 years. You've learned that the whole dynamic of masculine, feminine, goddess, is really a misnomer. And that there is, you still have not discovered the dynamics of the sacred feminine.
That what
None
is.
of you, even those of you that think you have. And that is because you keep trying to put it into the context of the gender that you are in this incarnation, having forgotten about the different genders, masculine and feminine, that you have been throughout many lifetimes. And that's only because your focus has been on this one, on this lifetime. The point really becomes, what are you going to step out of the old limitations? Are you going to step out of the old boundaries? Are you going to step out of those things and realize that there is a new understanding that's emerging in your world? It is the one, and it may sound trite, it is the one of connection, caring, and what?
Compassion.
And compassion.